What's going on, guys? We got a video here. We're about to see how we can double our income with Mark Tilbury. Let's go. Let's just get right on into it. Let's hop in a bit.
How can you double your income in 14 days? The other day, a subscriber named Francis stopped me on the street and asked me that exact question. He explained to me that his rent and utility bills were increasing, which meant he needed to double his income before the end of the month, or he'd be forced to move out of his home. I said to him that 14 days was a very short amount of time to double your income, and that he should focus on playing the long game, even if that meant temporarily relocating. But this response wasn't good enough. This young man was clearly motivated and wanting to make more money now, and I'd sort of fobbed him off with a cliche answer. Something about this interaction has been eating away at me, so I'm making this video for Francis to actually answer his question. Because after thinking about it for a while, I do believe it's possible, as most people have plenty of untapped potential. So Francis, I'm no financial advisor, but after many years of business and investing experience, this video is for you. We're going to spend the first 6 days analysing your current situation.
Alright, I'm going to slow it down
I
for
want
y'all
you
because
to
I'm
do an
realizing that
income
this shit's
audit.
going to
Have a
go
look at your income
fast.
streams.
You're
Jot
talking
down
fast as
what you
fuck.
expect to earn this year, as well as what you earned last year and the year before. Now take a good hard look at those numbers. Has your income been skyrocketing year after year? If not, we've got a problem. Your income should be growing as you gain more knowledge and skills. If it's not growing rapidly enough, there can only be two possible.
So what he basically saying is y'all should be learning. As your skills get better, so does your pay. As your skills get better, so does your pay. So as you learn more, so you get paid more. As you learn more, you get paid more. So pick up a fucking book.
Reasons. You're either being overlooked in your current position, or you haven't been adapting and learning enough. To be honest, for most people the answer will be a combination of both. This brings me to step 2, which is make a list of all your unfair advantages. Now let me introduce you to the Miles framework, brought to us by my friends Ash Ali and Hassan Kuba. Miles breaks down those potential advantages we all have, and it stands for money, intelligence and insight, location and luck, education and expertise, and status. Take a moment to think about what makes you unique. Are you a natural with money? Do you have a sharp mind or special insights into certain things? Maybe your location or chance encounters have given you an edge. Have you invested time and effort in education or become an expert in something?
Literally
Let's
all
not
of those
forget the
things
power
because
of
I've
status.
been
Can
sleeping
your
4 hours
reputation
a
and connections
night
open
for the
doors?
last
Now you
3
need
months.
to look for others with similar advantages. Create a comprehensive list of these individuals, their income sources, and their unique advantages. Work your way down the list and reach out to each person individually, offering them something of value in exchange for a coffee chat. Make sure to avoid copy and pasting the same message to everyone, as I know from experience how annoying it can be getting all those generic messages. You will receive many rejections, but if you can handle them and reach out to enough people, I guarantee you'll get a few yes responses. When you feel like you've met enough people, start thinking about the patterns that have emerged from.
So, when I first bought one of my businesses, which is now the biggest business that I own, I don't really want to say what numbers we're doing, but we're doing very well. Very well. And when I first purchased the business, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Now, I had learned from the previous owner because I was his technician and, I was going to be, I was under him and we both had talked about me taking over the business and whatnot. But I didn't know anything about the behind the scenes of running a business and growing a business. So what I had to do was find people who ran businesses successfully and literally learn from them by taking mental notes, taking physical notes, and consuming as much content as possible to see what they did right and to see what they did wrong, so that I could learn what to do right and what not to do by these people. And it's very interesting now that I have spot patterns on here, because that's exactly what I was doing. I found a lot of different patterns, and even when I'm tired, I still do those things because I realize that the people who are very successful, the people who are where I would like to be, they do those things even when they are tired.
All your conversations. If you've noticed common strategies amongst them, it's smart to adopt them as well. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Even achieving a fraction of their success can lead to you doubling your income. Phase 2, maximize your job. There are 2 distinct categories of jobs within a business: operational and revenue generating. Operational jobs encompass crucial roles such as customer services, assistants, and operations managers. These positions ensure the smooth functioning of various operations within the company. On the other hand, revenue generating jobs reside in sales, marketing, and finance. These roles are directly responsible for driving revenue growth and increasing the company's financial performance. Now, here's the thing. To become a rainmaker, you need to position yourself in one of those revenue generating roles. If you're currently not in such a position, I recommend having a conversation with your boss to explore potential opportunities within the company. Too many people will give selfish reasons as to why they need a pay rise, such as my rent's gone up. But let's be honest, your boss has more important things to worry about. Instead, give them a way to justify giving you a pay rise by demonstrating your impact on the company's revenue and profitability. Remember, companies have limited resources, so any pay increase must make financial sense. Take the pay increase you want and multiply it by 10. If you desire to earn an extra $100,000 per year, you need to find a way to generate an additional $1 million for the business. At this point, it's worth asking your boss if there's any opportunities for entrepreneur work. This means that even though you are an employee, you can still have a business owner's spirit and become an entrepreneur within your organization. In fact, many businesses have entrepreneur.
I agree with what he's saying 100%, but I believe that you only have 14 days to get this increase. So if I talk to my boss and I ask him, for a raise, in most cases, I believe that you get paid every 2 weeks, if not once a month. So would the increase be instant? And would I be seeing it reflect on my next paycheck, even though those 2 weeks were for the 2 weeks before this one? Which, yes, it will definitely increase your pay more than likely if you're providing enough value. As he said, you want to make $100,000, you need to give them $1 million. But if you're not doing that, then it's very difficult for you to begin to generate enough value in 14 days for you to then go back to your boss and say, hey, about that pay raise, I've generated this amount, can I get this amount?
The question is, how do I get started trading?
I don't want to start trading, leave me alone.
Who utilize the brand, resources, and capital of their company to start new projects or initiatives, acting as mini CEOs within the business. If you have a great idea and possess the necessary skills, you can approach the CEO and propose your idea. You can run the whole project and share the profits with the company. This way, you won't have to start from scratch in a competitive business world, and you will have the protection.
That's awesome, but it's going to take way longer than 14 days.
Less daunting. When you have too much money,
way longer. You're going to be way
you can
longer.
become less motivated, as you don't actually need to push as hard. But I'm not suggesting you should spend more. Instead, I'm saying to invest. Once you invest this money, treat it as if it doesn't exist anymore and play the long game. A great app to use is Trading 212, and they're kindly sponsoring this section of the video. One of my favorite features is their practice account. Deposits create with the same split at a push of a button. Signing up is completely free.
Oh, god
no
damn.
No hidden fee. Double your income and your boss isn't receptive. It might be time to explore other opportunities where your skills are valued. Take my head of education, for example. She initially trained as a teacher, pouring years of hard work into passing exams and studying at university. But let's face it, the government doesn't always reward educators with the wages they truly deserve. So she decided to think outside the box and join my team, utilising her skills in a different way. And you know what? By making that shift and adapting slightly, she now has the potential to earn far more than double her teaching salary. Just remember, you deserve to be valued for what you bring to the table. It's time to find the right environment that recognises your worth and rewards you accordingly. This might not be a quick process. You may have to spend hours searching and applying. When it comes to choosing a career, Some people take it far too lightly. They stumble upon a job opening thinking it's just a temporary gig, only to find themselves still grinding away in that same factory 30 years later, earning a similar wage. That's why you must be intentional about tracking and increasing your income as you go through life. Otherwise, before you know it, 10 years can slip by unnoticed, leaving you wondering where it all went wrong. Phase 4, entrepreneurship. Now, Francis, in the very rare case that you haven't managed to double your income in the previous 12 days, it may be time to consider starting a service-based business. Starting a business doesn't always require spending money. In fact, if you offer a service, you can begin making money right away. Think about it: video editing, script writing, consulting, personal training, and social media management. These are just a few examples of...
There is no way. There is way. I'm not going to cap. There is way. It will be very, very, very difficult for... I don't remember his name. We're just going to call him Mark because his name is Mark. It would be very difficult for Mark to double his income in 2 days when he still has to convince people to buy his product. He has no portfolio for the video editing, for the script writing, for the consulting. For personal trainers, they're going to ask him, well, who did he train before? What are the results? You know, is he muscular? Does he have something to show for what it is he's trying to, you know, sell us? What about his social media? How many followers does his social media have? What is his engagement like? All of these things need to be followed up with some sort of proof, some sort of photos, something that will help the customer be not necessarily persuaded, but you'll give them more information in making the decision that they already want to. So it would be very difficult for them to double their income doing these things. The first thing that I would more than likely recommend for them to do is to see how much extra time they have, see what resources they currently have. So let's say you work 40 hours a week and you have no kids. Perfect. You have a shit ton of time. So you have something like 72 extra hours in your day. Or in your week, I'm sorry. So you can, well, it's 110 and then you divide it by, so it's like 38 hours, 44 hours or some shit like that. You basically have another extra 40 hours to work another job. So you can take half of that time, work Grubhub, make roughly $6, I don't know how much you make on Grubhub, $12 an hour. So if you work an extra 40 hours a week times $12 an hour, that's $480. 4 weeks in a month, that's $1,920. You're almost at $2,000. So now you've increased your value by, at the very minimum, $1,920 in that month. But at least you got an extra $1,000 in that 2 weeks versus having to create something and then try to sell it. You can just initially find something that's already selling, become a part of that team, and start selling that thing. And if you really, really, really need it, you can be like me and you can sleep 4 to 5 hours a night and you can put all you have into it, making sure that losing is not an option, making sure that winning is the only option. It really depends on, you know, how hard you people want it. Whatever it is that you want to go after, you can get it. Just depends on how bad you want it. I greatly appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Mark Tillman, for giving us this information. It definitely is something to think about. I'm not sure. I do know that people would be able to do it in 14 days. That's for sure. I'm not sure that someone who is willing to ask you what they need to do to double their income is willing to do all that it would take for them to actually double their income in 14 days. So maybe that's where the big problem lies, is the willingness or the willing capability of the person asking the question. I do think anything is possible. I think he could probably triple his income if he really wanted to, if he sold the right thing. So I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mark Tilbury, again. If you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in regards to what it is that you would like to see on the channel. Let me know if there's something that you can think of that could double your income in 14 days that I didn't bring up. I mean, I think there's a ton of things. I think you could sell water. I think you can, it's selling something. You got to sell something in order to double that income. You're not going to just get double income. I think selling is the easiest way, and you can get really good at it, and you maybe even can sell 4 things at a time. So I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.